Hello again. Right now I'm going to invite you to do an exercise that I put all my clients through when working on their putting. And what's really interesting about this is that we're going to be using our eyes to certainly help us with our putting, but in fact it's a way that you can transform your entire game. So what I'll ask you to do is get a ball and a white piece of paper. And the reason we're using this piece of paper is that usually we do this exercise outside where there's plenty of sunlight, but because we're indoors, we're going to use the white piece of paper in essence for its reflective powers. So the way we'll start this is I'm going to invite you to put the ball down on that white piece of paper. And now I'm going to ask you to do something that maybe you've never done before, and that is to really look at that golf ball. And I'm going to invite you to find something interesting in this ball, or maybe a few things that perhaps you never noticed before. Now, that may seem kind of odd, it's just say a golf ball. But when I do this with people, I often hear things about looking at the golf ball that they never noticed before, such as the way the sun glints off one of the dimples, or that the dimples make a very interesting geometric pattern, or that as the sun hits one side of the golf ball and the shading gets gradually darker on the other, it's kind of like an interesting gradient on one side that looks pretty cool. So what's interesting about this is that as golfers, we spend our lifetime looking at the ball, but we generally don't notice what's actually there. We don't notice what's there, and boy, how's that for a metaphor for our lives and awareness, but we'll save that one for another day to go down that rabbit hole. So to do the exercise, what I'm asking you to do is to look down at the ball and see if there's something that you can be almost fascinated by. And what I mean by that is something that you can focus your eyes on. And for this exercise, what I elect to do is to focus my eyes near the front of the golf ball where the sun is glinting off one particular dimple. So I'm going to fix my eyes on that dimple with the sunlight coming off of it. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at that golf ball, put my thumb and forefinger around the ball, and then I'm going to move the ball, but keep my eyes on that same exact spot where the sun was reflecting off the dimple. I'm going to invite you to do the same thing in a moment. I'm going to give you the count of 3, but you kind of got to wait on that, okay? So here's how it's going to work. Find something on the golf ball that you can be fascinated by, focus on, and then put your thumb and forefinger around it. And then when I give the count of 3, move the ball, but keep your eyes on that spot that you were looking, where that spot was. Okay. We're going to do it. So fix your eyes on something that you find interesting on that golf ball. Put your thumb and forefinger around it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to move the ball, but you keep your eyes on that spot. All right, here goes. Thumb and forefinger on the ball. 1, 2, 3. Move the ball. Keep looking down. Put the ball back. Fingers around it. 1, 2, 3. Move the ball. Just one more time. Ball down. 1, 2, 3. Now my question to you is, what do you notice? The ball is gone, but is there something there that you perhaps never saw before? When we get back to talk about what this is all about and how it can help your golf.